All right, so what does fatherhood look like in 2022? That's a good question to ask. I think, what is it looking like with all the questions, all the opinions that people are making in regards to fatherhood, what a father should be, what a father shouldn't be, what does it look like? Um, all the attacks on fatherhood, the attacks on what they call toxic masculinity and all these different things. I wanted to ask the question, what does fatherhood look like with all the distractions and dealing with pandemics, dealing with going into a recession, issues of people being laid off, all these different things. What does fatherhood look like now to you? That's a good question. So I want to say this, first of all, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. As I said yesterday, whether you are father, stepfather, grandfather, godfather, father-in-law, adopted father, whatever it is, happy Father's Day to you. Again, shout out your father. I'm actually streaming this out on all my channels, my Facebook channels, YouTube channels, everything. This is actually also our church streaming time, and I'll do. Let me introduce myself. I am Pastor Julian. This is the Ask Pastor Julian podcast, where we talk about empowerment as well as entrepreneurship. Today we're celebrating fathers, and I want to talk about a little bit about fatherhood, share some advice and some experiences, and talk about 5 things I didn't know about fatherhood or about being a father. Before I became a father. Some things I know now I did not know. Some things you may know now that you did not know, whatever. So we want to talk about it. Again, shout out your father. I want to appreciate all the fathers out there in this season. Sometimes people don't know the difficulty it is being a father, dealing with the things that you deal with, because not everybody really appreciates love you like they should. I think that, but hey, it is what it is. We keep rolling. We keep moving forward. We don't let things stop us. We keep pressing on, making sure that we continue to do the things that we should do, that God has called us to do, prepared us to be in this time and season. So I'm gonna take a look over here in the comments, see if I got anything happening over here yet. So okay, all right. So we rolling. So I want to talk about some things that we may have or may not have known before we became a father that we learn now. I am a father of 3 children. One is a 20-year-old son who's he's grown and gone out of the house, and he's actually my stepson, but I don't call him stepson. I call him son because I assumed that responsibility when I married his mother. So my oldest is 20, and his name is Keith, and I have 2 little ones. One is 7. Her name is Cadence. Cadence meaning rhythm. That's what we named her, Rhythm, because of the fact that I love music. So we kind of made her rhythmic or whatever in that way. Then my youngest is Julian II, and they are, for lack of a better word, can be a very good, strong handful, but I love them. And hey, it is what it is in regards to that. So listen, while we're talking about this, and as I'm sharing things with you, I want you to also type in the chat and type in the comments things that you may have learned or not known as a father that you know now. So type that stuff in. Let me know what you think about the thoughts that I'm sharing with you today. Let me know how you think about those things, and we'll keep on talking and discussing those things. All right. So I do believe that we have to be concerned about fatherhood because we are dealing with, in this time, a lack of true fathers and fatherhood. Even the scripture tells us, Paul wrote in Corinthians, he said there are many teachers out there, but there are few fathers. And so he said, because of that, I am becoming a father for you. And so he recognized even in the scripture text, it wasn't something that just happened, not something that just happened in our community, the black community, because we talk about fatherlessness in the black community a lot, but fatherlessness is an issue and has been an issue for a long time. So Paul says, I know that there are few fathers. So I am becoming a father for you. He was talking about a spiritual father at that time. And there is a need, there's a lack of spiritual fathers and a need for spiritual fathers in our society today. So it is important for us to think about that and become, and if we need to become that father or seek out that type of spiritual father that we need in our lives. Okay. So I want to say that I don't want to hold, as they say in church, I don't want to hold you long because I want to make sure that you have time to enjoy Father's Day. But I do want to talk about five things that I didn't know about fatherhood that I know now. Okay, some things I did know, but I realized that it became very apparent to me in real life when I actually got into this whole fatherhood situation. So let's talk about this. So number one, first thing I want to share about talking about a father, and let me say this: the first two things I'm going to talk about when it comes to being a father are the things I learned from my children, and the last three things I'm going to talk about are the things I learned that I need to be myself. So I want to put that out there. So the first thing I learned about fatherhood, and I knew this, but it became real, and it becomes more and more real every day because I see my children. Okay, so look, the first thing I found out about fatherhood, first thing you need to know about fatherhood is that your children see and hear everything. They hear and see everything. Now they may act like they don't sometimes, but I promise you, they hear and they see everything that you do. They begin to mimic some of the things that you say, some of the things that you do. As a story, it's funny here about my daughter. We went when she was very little. We went to go check. You have to go to the doctor and they have these audio tests, and the hearing tests that they have to administer to children. So the doctor immediately comes out after giving my daughter this test, and it says, "Listen, if she ever acts like that, she doesn't hear you, don't believe it." Because she has perfect, excellent hearing. So I want to say this: when your children act like sometimes they don't hear you when you say clean their room, don't hear you when you say for them to pick up stuff, it's time to get things done, you don't believe it because they hear and see everything. You'll find out they'll bring things to your mind or things to your attention that you didn't know that they heard or that you didn't know that they saw, but they'll bring it up and you like, oh, you wasn't supposed to hear that. They hear and they see everything, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing because some of the things that we're doing that we want them to hear, we want them to see, so that they can begin to learn how to mimic those things and be those things in their own lives. So we have to be careful in that regard. So I don't want to keep doing with that. So let me move on to the second thing, because again, I want to give you time to share with your Father's Day. Okay. Second thing I want to talk about when it comes to fatherhood and when it comes to your children, they are your personal, and I didn't know this, they become your personal cheerleaders. And it's interesting about my kids, they get very excited about my birthday. All week they've been excited about Father's Day or celebrating Father's Day. They become your personal cheerleaders. You come in the house after work or whatever, and they're saying, daddy, 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 because they are your personal cheerleader. And you can sometimes you can do the smallest thing that really may seem insignificant to you, but it's big to them because you're their father. And that's how important it is for them to be in your life. They need to see you in that light to where they have that reverence and that honor for you. So I did not know how important it was at the time, but I'm so glad I see it now, how important it is for them to be your personal cheerleader. You got your own cheer squad at home, so you don't have to leave home in order to be celebrated. You have your own cheer squad at the house. All right. Number three, and again, But just before I do that, I want to those two things. I want to share with you something that we're doing for men and for fathers in the month of July. We have a class that we're going to be teaching and instructing on issues that they deal with men. We're going to be uplifting them, empowering them, and I want to share this with you real quick. So here it is. It is the Life Mastery Plan Challenge that we're doing. It starts on the last Tuesday in June. June the 28th. And it's the Life Mastery Plan Challenge. And we'll be dealing with topics like fatherhood. We're dealing with the masculinity crisis. We're dealing with self-care and self-conditioning. We're dealing with investing. We're dealing with issues of the sexual marketplace, talking about where your money is going, how money works. And then we're going to end it off. And this is one thing I want to make sure we really do emphasize. We're going to end it off talking about becoming the dad my father never was. So we're going to deal with those type of issues. Just like we're talking about this today, we're going to dive in deeper then. So I want to invite you to go ahead and join this challenge. You're going to leave this 5-week session that we're doing, 5-week session every Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 Central Standard Time. So you want to go ahead and click on this link. The link is in the description to join this challenge. You're going to have a great time. It's going to be fire. It's going to be great. You're going to learn a lot of information. You're going to walk away from this empowered. Again, like I said before, this is not a man bashing session. These are not women bashing sessions. These are men empowerment sessions. You're going to leave better than where you were before. So wherever level you are, don't care about the mistakes you made in the past. Move from this point on, you're going to be better empowered. You're going to level up because of this class that we're teaching. So go ahead and click on the link and get registered, and so we can go and get this done. All right. With that being said, just want to give that brief caveat inside of there right quick. But with that being said, I want to move on to our third thing. These things are really about us as fathers, what we need to be, what we need to do as fathers, and the importance of this in our own lives. What I learned, what I didn't know about being a father that is important now. Being honest and transparent. The father must be honest and transparent. One thing I don't do, I do not lie to my children. I'm very honest with them, and I try to be as transparent with them as I can. I don't say I'm okay when I'm not. I don't make up even little bitty lies. Like sometimes we'll lie and say, well, it's okay to say this, okay to say no. To me, it's not okay. If I want honesty from them, if I want transparency from them, then I want to make sure that I'm showing them the transparency, the honesty that I have. So if times when I'm going through some things, difficult things, whatever, sometimes I let them in on some of those things because they need to know that I am vulnerable too. They need to understand that you as a father, that you are vulnerable too. Sometimes you have good days. Sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes you're up. Sometimes not. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you go through things. And sometimes you're happy. And whatever it is, you need to be honest and transparent. And also, I show my children what it means when dad is happy, how daddy is behaving when he's happy or when he is excited. I also show them how I behave when I may be angry with them or I'm disappointed in something they do. I don't hide that to make it seem like these things are not real. These feelings are not real. These concerns are not real, because they need to know where you are so that they can be able to learn how to handle their issues and their emotions as young children. I do not want them to get older in life and thinking that I can just mask and be okay masking who I am, masking what I am, because that brings a lot of hurt, shame, guilt out that they don't know how to deal with, they won't deal with, and it causes pain later because they don't know how to express their feelings, express their thoughts. I think that it's not good to be honest. They can't be honest. They can't be transparent. So I show them the honesty. I let them know how important it is, and reward them for their honesty and transparency. I tell my son, tell my kids all the time, always be honest with daddy. Always be honest with daddy. Always tell daddy the truth, because daddy's going to tell you the truth. That's important. Very important for that to happen. All right. Where we on? Number four. Number four is be intentional. Be intentional. Be intentional about how you raise your children. Be intentional about the activities that your children are involved with. Be intentional, because everything that you do, everything that you share, everything that you are, they see it. So you have to really be intentional about your conversations with them. Be intentional about the places that you take them to. Be intentional about the circle of friends that you allow them to be around. Even sometimes some family members. You have to be intentional about the family members, or the friends, or the associations that you bring them around, because all these folks are impressionable. And you can't allow your children to be around the wrong type of people, because it hinders them in the long run. And you have to be careful about who is telling them what. We check out their teachers. We see what they're teaching in the school. We find out what's going on there, because we want to know what they're being taught. And if it's not in accordance or agreement with what we're teaching, we'll have the intention of moving them out of that classroom and putting them in a different classroom, or if we have to, move them out of that school and put them in a different school. Why? Because it's intentional. Because we know what we want to instill in our children. I know what I want to be instilled inside of my child, so I'm careful, and then I'm very intentional about what they see, intentional about what they watch on television, intentional about the different impressions that they have in life. You have to be intentional. You have to be an intentional father, because everything that you're showing them is an impression. And let me take this even to church, me being a pastor and a worshiper. I'm intentional about letting them see me pray. I'm intentional about letting them see me worship God. I'm intentional about letting them hear me sing to God. I'm intentional about letting them see me lift up my hands and honor God, because they seeing this, they're gonna mimic this and wonder, why is it that that daddy is honoring God? Why is he praising God? These intentional things must be present in their life. I'm even intentional about sometimes when I'm working in my office, and sometimes they want to come in, and maybe I'm doing a web design for someone, maybe I'm editing a video, maybe I'm doing some graphic designing, maybe I'm studying for a sermon, whatever it is. I'm even intentional about letting them come into that space when I'm working. And it may be 5 or 10 minutes. I can take 5 or 10 minutes and let them see my process of building a sermon. Let them see my process, even at 5 and 7 years old. Let them see my process of creating a web design. Let them see my process of how I work. Let them see my process of how I do internet searches or YouTube videos I may be watching or looking at. And they're asking me questions. What is this about? What is that about? I'm intentional about showing them that, because they need to see my space, see my area, because I understand that I'm giving them their identity. And now when I talk about identity, I'm definitely going to deal with that more in the class. How we share and give identity to our children. Okay, we give identity to our children. So that's something that I am intentional about. Okay, I don't want to be long. I feel like I'm getting long, getting preachy, too preachy. Let me move on to the next one, the last one that I want to share with you today. And that is, okay, we talked about being honest and transparent. We talked about being intentional. The last one is be present. Be present in your child's life. Be present in your children's life. It is so important that you be present in their life. because again, you are the one that's giving them their identity. What do you mean I'm giving them their identity? You gave them, assigned them their identity at the moment of conception. It is the father that gives the identity of the child, whether the child is male or female. You start identifying your child at the moment of conception. So you need to be present in their lives, whether you are with the mother or you're not with the mother, whether you're married to the mother or you're not married to the mother. It is so important. It is so crucial for you to be present in the child's life. They need to know and feel the father's presence in their life. And let me say this. I know that sometimes, because of situations with the relationship with the mother may not always be the best. There are issues with relationships with the mother. I understand sometimes that there can be problems there, but sometimes you have to push and fight to be present, because it's just that crucial in that child's life. And I'm saying this: if a woman can fight, if a mother can fight and go to the people to get her child support, to support the children, then the father can fight and go to the people to make sure he's present in their life. And let that sink in. You can fight for your presence. You need to fight to be present in that child's life. It's so important, because they need to know and feel when daddy is present. Even whether they're there or not, they need to know and feel that daddy is present in their life. Right? Know and feel that daddy is present in their life. And so, speaking of relationships, I'm going to do a video. I'm trying to challenge myself, really trying to challenge myself with putting out a video every day. So as the Lord gives me, as God gives me more to say, I'm going to make sure I try to push this challenge to do a video every day about whatever topic God is giving me to share with you every day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that this helped you, bless you. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to you. You deserve your day. You deserve your day to be shared, to be celebrated. Celebrate your father, whatever it takes. Celebrate your father. And thankful for all you fathers out there who are doing it, being present, being intentional, being honest, being transparent, loving on your children, appreciating them for their hearing and their seeing and their cheerleading, all of that. You deserve all of it. So grateful for you. Thanks so much for this. Listen, go ahead and like this video. Comment on the video, share this video with other fathers, with other men, mothers, whoever. Share it with those you think that this will bless them and give them encouragement. All right. And so I want to say I love you. I appreciate you. Remember to click on the link in the description to get registered for the class that we're teaching in July. You don't want to miss this. It's going to bless you. And this is the perfect Father's Day gift. Let me say that. It's a great Father's Day gift. So share it. Bless a father. And if you're a lady watching this and you want to sponsor a father, sponsor a brother, sponsor a gentleman for the class, feel free to do that, because this is going to empower them, uplift them, give them strength and purpose, and take them to the next level in their life. All right. I want to say I appreciate you for watching. Be blessed. Have a great day. Until the next video, you be empowered.